Hey, this is Lasky, the legend, Brett. Listen to Timo and the Harley Show. Listen to it, or do whatever you do, man. Booga booga boo.
Did you get that too? I'm sorry, I tried not to laugh. Dude, that's the best. That might be our best since Bill Johnson, man.
How much are you gonna chop it up?
He ain't gonna chop it up at all. He's gonna make it nice and it's gonna flow right into our show. Timo's good mixing, soul fixing.
Welcome to the Timo and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to the Timo and Harley Show. I am Timo. Over there is my partner in mindcrime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben, happy 400th Harley.
Hey, Timo. Happy anniversary, my friend.
And happy anniversary to you, Mr. Ben Harley. 400.
Thank you, Timo.
400. We're getting a little long in the tooth.
Still look fine, though. Fine. Timo.
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much. Ben Harley, we have a very special surprise for our 400th show. So hold on. Hold on. We got a surprise. Now, let me get out my Hicks decoy call. Hold on. Here we go.
Do we have a cake?
We have Mr. Danny Hicks in studio, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Mr.
That's
Danny
right.
Hicks.
Hey, you guys, what the hell is going on? 400? Did I hear that correctly?
400.
400.
Holy mackerel, Batman. Nothing happens 400 times. Not even in real life. Nothing. It should not be.
Well, things that happen 400 times, you tend to lose count. So I'll have to go with Danny on this one. So. Well, how have you been, Mr. Danny Hicks?
Old and creaky, but able to sit up and take nourishment. So I'm fine. I'm fine, guys. I'm fine.
Now you did some work. Was it last summer with your pal Mr. Tim Quill, right?
I did. I did a vampire movie called Blood Hunter. Yeah. So,
where was that being filmed at?
We shot it in one of those places that was up and just beneath Canada.
Ben Harley's house?
Yeah. I don't know. There was a lot of people with hockey sticks, but they might have been trying to get rid of me. I'm not sure. No,
right.
It was in Billings, Montana. We shot it in Billings, Montana. And people of Billings, Montana are wonderful creatures. They are very, very nice.
I bet that's beautiful around there.
I bet. Not as pretty here as your new Ponderosa here. Not quite as pretty as this.
Danny is enjoying Dermal Ridge, Mr. Ben Harley.
I bet he is.
Is that what we call this?
We call it Dermal Ridge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. It sounds like a skin problem.
It is a skin problem, actually. It's a skin problem for Bigfoot researchers.
Does it itch?
That's right.
Sometimes it does, actually. Yeah, we're having a good time. And in the space-time continuum,
yes,
I do believe the next show we may all be in studio together because Mr. Ben Harley is making a escape vacation.
That's right.
He's getting out for a little bit. He's going to come and watch the...
I'm making the pilgrimage.
That's right. You're going to come and watch
to Dermal Ridge.
That's right. Yeah. To see Ultraman and TSOL and the Dead Kennedys with Angio and Danny Hicks and
that should be great. And I heard a little something here just a few minutes ago, Mr. Harley, that you've never seen Tim O play the guitar live.
No, this would be my first.
How is that possible?
I think I've seen him in studio, maybe strumming around, but I don't know. He's elusive. It's hard.
You got to pay me, man. I'm a pro.
Well, he plays in St. Louis area or somewhere, and it's so far away.
Be prepared to be very impressed. I am not kidding you. I've seen people play music all over the damn planet, and you're not going to see any finer than Ultraman. And the fine guitar stylings of Mr. Timo Saban.
Well, thank you, Dean. High praise indeed.
Honest to God, it's just fucking awesome. That's the only way I can. And I don't even like that type of music. But be prepared to have your mind completely blown.
Well,
my socks knocked off. Except for 2 pairs of socks.
Absolutely.
We just got back. We were in Springfield, Illinois, the state capital of Illinois. We did a Fragile Porcelain Mice, not Ultraman, but Fragile Porcelain Mice played a benefit for Gary Walnut Swaggerty, who is coming out of some cancer.
He's a cancer survivor.
Yeah. He's doing good, actually, Mr. Ben Harley. Right before the show, he went for some tests, and his I'm going to speak cancer patient here. His numbers were normal for a, quote, normal person.
Which is a good thing.
Awesome. Yes. So I guess his white blood cells and all that. He's battling back. He's ready to put his finishing maneuver on.
Yeah.
The cancer, good. Mr. Ben Harley.
Figure 4 on the cancer.
That's right. And Danny Hicks actually got to meet Gary. We sat down. We were at a delicious pizza place.
Oh, my God. That pizza was good.
Across the street from Bar None where we played. And he got to meet Gary, and they swapped some horror stories being in the hospital.
Horror stories in Springfield.
It's always fun.
That's why you can't find the fucking Simpsons. I looked everywhere for those people. I couldn't find them anywhere.
But we had a good time. It was fun, and it was a successful show. And Gary's son, I believe, was playing. I didn't even realize this until we left, but Gary's son was playing drums in the Timmies.
Oh, really?
I did not. Really? Yeah, I didn't even realize that. So that's how out of it I was. But we showed up and we did our thing. So we had fun.
And did it well.
It was fun.
It was probably the best performance I've ever seen of Fragile. And you guys were hot. You were cooking.
Yeah, I had my muscles everywhere, Ben Harley. I was flexing muscles and showing the ladies. They weren't looking, though. I don't know what was going on.
They couldn't take it. It's too much. How much do you expect a woman to take? A woman.
Yeah, I've taken my shirt off a few times and heard that's too much. I've never taken anything else off and heard that's too much before, but we'll just
do that 400 times.
Right. Well, Mr. Ben Harley,
yes, sir.
Watched a few things here real quick. Hold on, I'm going to run through real fast. A couple of them, me and Mr. Danny Hicks watched together. But real quick, from 1990, watched Roger Corman produced a movie called Dead Space. We always like movies with space in the title because you can do anything you want with space.
Could we have a moment
usually lost in space, Tim?
This one's Mark Singer stars over Bryan Cranston in this film. So it was in 1990. This was before Bryan Cranston had a real career, and co-starring the world's most boring robot. So don't really suggest this one. It's like a bad alien ripoff with the bad robot.
I think I might have seen it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah.
AMGO and I watched Man in the Attic from 1953. With Jack Palance in it. And Aunt B from the Andy Griffith Show. Aunt B was in it.
I've been watching a lot of Aunt B lately around here.
She was a little vixen when she was younger.
I can't find a movie old enough to find that so far, but we're working on it. This is another version of the story of The Lodger, which has been remade since Hitchcock did it in, I think, 1927, I believe. Let's see here. There's something on Amazon Prime I wanted to alert you to. I think Danny Hicks watched a little bit of this, and me and Angio watched some of it. There's like an hour and a half long, stitched together presentation of Laurel and Hardy shorts. So like the shorts he did, like the 30-minute little deals, and those are pretty good. I like me some Laurel and Hardy. So
me too.
Weren't the best. I don't think they had the piano one where they're trying to get the piano up on the second floor.
That piano, I like that so much. I actually went in search of those steps in Los Angeles.
Did you find them?
No, I did not. I did not. I know where they are now, but I'll have to go back and look again.
All right, you'll take some pictures and send them to me and Harley over here.
Right.
Now some of this, Ben Harley. Here's one real quick. That me and Danny did watch a little bit of this together. I did watch Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny in the vein of Deadshot. Deadpool.
Yeah.
See, that's how good I am with superheroes anymore.
Well, there is a Deadshot though. There is.
I know. I'm getting my
Will
DC
Smith
Marvel mixed up there. But I enjoyed it. I like it. It's almost a comedy action movie.
It is.
Okay.
It is. Well, I think it sets itself up to be a comedy movie. I don't know how successful it is. I didn't really enjoy it because I didn't have a fucking scorecard. I mean, who are all these people and how are they related to each other? And if they're all siblings, why don't they look similar?
Right.
I mean, there was no rhyme or reason to it to me.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was a popcorn munchy movie, but I don't get too tough on some of these movies, Mr. Ben Harley. But it was much better than like the last Avengers movie I saw, where to Danny's point, it was like 15 superheroes going in CG going across the screen at the same time. I couldn't keep up. I had no idea what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
So this was a little bit better. And I like Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I think he's funny. He was even funny in the Ghostbusters remake.
Ghostbusters, yeah, he was.
Well, the one thing that did confuse me so much, I mean, here's Thor running around. He doesn't have a fucking hammer. I mean, how can he be Thor without a hammer?
That was
Thank you, Danny.
Yep.
Thank you, Danny.
Well, that was part of the plot. He had the hammer and it got destroyed by his evil sister, the goddess of death. Yeah.
Why was everything so rainbowish in it? I know I didn't see the movie, but everything that I see as far as the posters and everything, it looks like the Ice Capades.
Well, Ragnarok is an old Norse legend. I think that it's a prophecy where Asgard is going to get destroyed so it can be renewed again. Yeah. So all those gods are going to die. So if you remember the Rainbow Bridge that goes to Asgard, that's why you saw a bunch of that stuff, I think, in the previews. So most of it's on Asgard or New York. You know how it is. So
I have no problem with color. I'm a fan of color.
That's good.
But, yeah, I don't know. Just looked a little, I don't know.
It helps
more
being
like
an
Rainbow
artist.
Bright.
And how come so many of the movies you guys watch are in black and white?
I know.
He needs a break.
Right, exactly.
Even the colorized one, he's got them all the
Yeah.
colors turned down, so those are in black and white.
And last up, Mr. Ben Harley, Danny Hicks and I did sit down to watch a little documentary that I had watched before called Mirage Men. And it was a story about Mr. Richard Doty, who was a government misinformant to the UFO community.
Or so they say.
Okay.
Or so they say. So what's cool about this movie is that you're watching a guy who was a government misinformer telling you now what he really meant, even though he's probably still misinforming you.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to believe him. You know, he spent his entire career lying. So now what? You're going to believe him now?
Right.
So let's say, I don't know.
It's kind of fun. It's a little bit of a brain tease almost because you realize you're getting caught up in what he's saying too. And you're like, whoa. Hold on a minute. Hang on,
So what are you saying? Are flying saucers real or are they not real? Come on.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's fudging still, Mr. Ben Harley. It is fun to watch. It's a good little doc. And they do talk about a few stories and supposed things that the UFO community is all into that. I mean, even Danny and I were like, I'd never heard that story before.
Yeah.
So
really? Okay.
Yeah, it was all right. Wasn't too bad. It was nice little time waster. And Ben Harley, I'd like to confirm to you that Chance and I have finished the 6.5-hour miniseries of Jesus of Nazareth.
Nice. Yeah. I you know what, Tim? I put that in my watch list there. We'll see.
Right.
But yeah, well, good. What'd you think?
It was a twist ending. It was going to end bad, and then it all ended okay. I really like this movie, Ben Harley. It's got nothing to do with... It's just like watching any other religious film or anything else. It's a fantastic piece of cinema. And I really like, considering it's based on a book, I really liked it. It was remember, Harley, we started this because Chance and I and Angio and I watched King of Kings with Jeffrey Hunter in it. And that was kind of like the Halloween remake. It was kind of like the Bible remake. They kind of threw their own crap in there, and I didn't like it. And Chance was lost. He had no idea what was going on or who was who. He knew who was who. He had 6.5 hours of information to process, and he processed it well. He enjoyed it. It was good. And
well, good.
Yeah. Now you're going to show the poor kid the Book of Mormon, and you're all fucked up. You got to start over again.
The exposure is over. That's it.
And then break out the Quran, and then we'll take it from there, guys.
Yeah. What did you get to look at anything, Mr. Ben Harley?
Yes, Tim.
Well, then entertain me and Danny Hicks, please.
You want me to entertain you a little bit? Okay. Now, it's funny, Tim. I remember we watched a little movie the other day called Never Too Young to Die, right? Is that it? Remember?
With John Stamos and Gene Simmons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, as a hermaphrodite, right?
That's correct. And let me clarify, Gene Simmons was a hermaphrodite, not John Stamos this time.
Wait, whoa. Gene Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a movie from like 1986.
We just reviewed
it was just a stupid action movie where Gene Simmons ran a group of people who did not get casted in The Road Warrior.
Yeah.
So he had a whole gaggle of gang, and he was a hermaphrodite cross-dressing villain.
Okay.
Type casted once again. Yeah. So what you got this time, Ben Harley?
Well, it was funny because I do think they're listening to us, Timo, because I was going through some of my Roku TV there, and I hadn't seen this before, but then all of a sudden on the VHS vault, I came across Never Too Young to Die. And then also it was on Shell Factory too.
Wow.
So maybe they're listening, Timo. I'd never seen it before until we started talking about
Ben,
it.
they're not necessarily listening, but they are watching. They are definitely watching. So
they're watching and listening to. So yes, I did not take the opportunity though, Timo, to watch it again. Maybe soon.
Okay. All right. I think once is enough in a lifetime. I think you're okay.
Yeah. Also, I watched a couple documentaries too, as you guys did. I know Ken Burns has been around for a while, and he's had some of these documentaries have been out for quite some time too. But I did watch one on the Brooklyn Bridge, and then also the one on the Statue of Liberty, which that guy can take photographs and really tell a story with just zooming in and out of a photograph. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
one picture,
really cool though. Yeah, one picture. So, but yeah, those quite enjoyed those. Let's see.
Where were those at? Where'd you find those at?
Also on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So, fun to watch. There's a slew of them, so I'm gonna try to. I'll keep you abreast.
All right.
When
Cool.
they come across.
Awesome.
So yeah. So, one thing I've also been keeping up on, Tim. I'm about 4 or 5 episodes into Lost in Space now. The Netflix. I don't know. Not too bad. I feel bad because I haven't been wanting to go back and watch it that much. And it's not that it's bad. I just don't think I don't know. It's a little slow right now.
It's not your father's. It's not your father's Lost in Space.
No. I will say.
I actually watched the first 2 episodes, and I liked the first 2 episodes mainly because it wasn't warning, Will Robinson. Right. It was much different than the original was. And I kind of enjoyed that because I wasn't a big fan of the original. Sorry, don't hit me.
Yeah, no, that's okay, Dan. Yeah. Well,
he's too far away right now. Tomorrow,
he will be here next week.
That's right.
He'll start throwing a punch somewhere in Indiana by the time.
Right. I actually did enjoy it too, and it's weird. I'm trying not to look at the original compared to this because there's no way. I mean, it's just the whole setup of the family structure and everything too in it.
Yeah. I
do like the gentleman that plays the father in there, John Robinson. He was in a show that Timo I've talked to him about. It was called Black Sails. It was on Stars. About the pirates of Nassau.
Yeah.
And he was a great actor. I just like the guy. How his character's way different than he was in Black Sails. But when I'd heard he was going to be in it, that's really kind of what piqued my interest the most too. Yeah. But I so far I like it. It's not so over the top. And Parker Posey, she's channeling the Dr. Smith pretty good. She's a jackass. Let's put it that way. But so was he. You know what I mean? So. I appreciate that. So she's pulled a couple tricks of the old Smith playbook already. So which I quite enjoy because the thing is, why did they, as much as I love that guy in that show, they should have thrown that son of a bitch off years ago. And I know Don West tried. I know he tried a few times, but I have enjoyed it though. I just haven't been, I've had other things to watch. It's more for me. I didn't want to go to and watch all of it at once either. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to watch 1 or 2 a week instead of, watch them all in a couple of days.
How many episodes are available right now? It's just like 6, I think, right?
I think they have the whole season now. I think there's either 10 or 12 now that are available. Yeah, I think they might have started with 6 and then did. I'm not sure.
They usually release those all at the same time so you can quote binge on them.
Binge on them, yeah.
Binge on this.
Yeah.
Right. It's funny because, I love the new robot. I just love that robot. But at the same time, I wanted the old guy back too.
Yeah, the B9 robot has that just, the thing with this one doesn't talk much. He does say morning, Will Robinson, but he doesn't. And the thing is that robot, I was I don't know. Tim, are you going to watch this show or not?
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
No.
I didn't think so. So anyways, the robot actually attacked the ship that they were on, the space station or whatever that they were on, that they were traveling across the galaxy to their new home. This robot attacked the ship.
Yeah, he's definitely not a nice character.
Yeah. And they don't know that. And actually Will saved him. Will Robinson saved him. So now he's like Will's protector. And they're just kind of finding out that he was the one that destroyed the colony and stuff. So it's got a kind of a neat twist, but because you don't know. Yeah, you don't know if the robot's going to snap. And
actually, the robot doesn't remember his original programming.
Yeah. Yep.
So he doesn't know that he's supposed to kill all these people.
Yeah, because he crashed the same time.
Right.
Yeah, he crashed like the same time that everybody else, the colony, because some people from the colony did survive and crash on the planet. So, but yeah, thank you, Danny. See, I can have a discussion with Danny about Lost in Space.
I'm just wondering, is this a robot show or a robot show?
Robot.
Robot, not robot?
Yeah, no robot.
No, it's a
Robot's
robot.
my favorite.
It's a robot.
He does have a nice butt, though. He does have a nice butt. Let's say that.
That's tight.
Out of sight.
He's a handsome devil. Okay, Timo, let's see. One last thing here. No, two last things.
Right.
Two last things. Does that make sense? No.
It does on this show.
Yes, I have been going to the Walleye. Made it to the second round of the playoffs here. We've been having fun going to do that.
All right.
I did go see them get their butt whooped the other night. That wasn't so much fun. And the old rivalry, the Fort Wayne-Toledo rivalry, you get about 300 Fort Wayne fans amongst 8,000 Toledo fans, and there's a little tension.
Will ensue.
Yeah. I kept my mouth shut, and then but yeah, it's it's been a long time since I was a kid at the old sports arena back in the day. You feel the tension and stuff. So it's a little fun, been having fun with that, but they're on their way back to Fort Wayne now. So tied game one. That I'll keep you abreast of that as well. So,
right.
And Danny.
Okay.
So last but not least, Tim, I did watch another episode of The Terror last night. There are 3 episodes left.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you anything about this show, The Terror, that's on AMC.
No, I'm not familiar with it at all.
It's based on a true story about people trying to find the Northwest Passage over the North Pole. It takes place what year, Ben Harley? Like
1850s or
so it's a Ridley Scott production, and they kind of throw in what looks like a mutated polar bear just to make it a little sci-fi. A little bit, but it's. From what I saw,
they never really figured out what happened to them, but they did find certain remains or something.
Goods.
So
canned goods. Stay away from the canned goods.
And that's basically what's happening in this. Yeah, that canned goods have made a lot of the guys. Drove them mad.
Yep. Well, lead poisoning. They all got lead poisoning in the canned goods.
And the whole story is basically, and what happened to them is that the ships, there's 2 ships, and of course they get ice locked.
Yeah.
And so the series, so the series takes place on these ships that are ice locked.
Interesting.
It sounds interesting, but even Angie tapped out.
Yeah.
Me and her tried to watch. We got 3 or 4 episodes in, and that was about it. And then I wanted more of the whatever polar bear thing that was going on, and there was very little of it leading up to it. But what happened was they found the ships recently. Mm-hmm. And they took, what was it, Ben? They took the diary entries and stuff, and they kind of built the series around the stuff
that,
they found. Yeah.
And it's been pretty good, Dan. I don't know, you might enjoy it. Like I said, it's funny because me, I'm always saying, it was a little slow. This is slow, but I've enjoyed it. It's got a lot of the things that I like, not only just in film, but but I will agree with Timo. There has been some let's say more valleys than peaks, or whatever. But yet, I still have enjoyed. There's some really good acting in it. This last episode was pretty good. Like I said, they've gotten off the ships now, and I won't say too much in case you ever want to watch it, Danny. But they are off the ships now, and so they're they left some people on the ship. There was a scouting party that went out about a year before.
I've been there for a while.
And now they finally, and there's one guy who's been trying to, say, hey, we should have been gone a long time ago, but no one would listen to him. And so he's the captain now. So, but like you said, Danny, stay away from the cans.
Stay away from the cans.
Damn
Didn't
cans.
Steve Martin say that in The Jerk, too?
Yes. Yeah, he did. He's mad at those.
Stay away from the cans.
He's mad at these cans. Yeah.
So, so where are you at now? What episode is this, Ben Harley? What?
Oh, I
400.
Pay attention. Yeah, right. I do believe it's the 7th episode.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're doing 10 altogether, I think, because there's only 3 episodes left. They didn't say anything else about like
no more seasons. Okay.
I don't think so. There's not enough story to go along.
Well, I didn't stop him before in TV history, so
hasn't stopped The Walking Dead either.
No, it's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sorry. Dang, that was just a mean shot across the bow.
You won't get any arrows from us by saying it like that. So I haven't watched The Walking Dead in years. So
yeah, I've only watched 1.5, and I'm okay.
You're done. You're out.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm out. I tapped out a long time ago.
What else you got?
But yeah, no, that's it. That's it, Timo. Yes, yeah, it was kind of a light week as well. You know, so just been watching shirts come off of a screen printing press mostly. So.
Well, I thought that was going to get interesting there for a second. Just watching the shirts come off the people in Toledo.
Yeah.
You know, springtime's here and the women are getting naked. The shirts are just flying off their little nubile bodies.
So we'll print the shirt right off your back.
And we'll heat it. We'll heat it while it's on your back too. So it never comes back off ever.
Right.
Tattooed to you. Ben Harley, we have a little. I'm going to try this now.
Okay.
Now I'm going to see if I get in trouble for playing my own music. Okay. Now this is very possible to do this, but we have released the new Timo and Danny Hicks Brain Invasion featuring Senior Baird record, Mr. Ben Harley.
Yeah, it's dropped already.
It is, and it is titled "And Off Came His Head." Yes. So this is actually, as we speak, you can go to anywhere you stream music or buy it, and you can pick this up. Just search for the Timo and Danny Hicks Brain Invasion, and Off Came His Head. And Mr. Ben Harley, every time I've tried to play a tune, I get busted by the man. They don't listen. You have permission for this, which I always do. But how do I prove that? So I am going to try to play a song that was written by myself and Danny Hicks and see if we get in trouble.
Yeah.
So just a little, a sample, if you will, of the new Timo and Danny Hicks Brain Invasion CD featuring Senior Baird. This song is called Heart Full of Rust. Heart Full of Rust, Mr. Ben Harley. That's right. So, boy, I haven't done this for a long time. We haven't played a tune for a while. So right now, Mr. Ben Harley, this is Heart Full of Rust by the Timo and Danny Hicks Brain Invasion on the Timo and Harley Show.
Featuring Serene Baird.
Featuring Serene Baird. So here we go. Let's rock out, Miss Ben Harley.
Kick ass, Timo. And Danny.
Oh my goodness, it sure is nice to see you lovely ladies clad so scantily. Tight skirt, barely long enough. I close my eyes, I can damn near see your stuff. I love to watch you as you walk away. Can't barely stand it. I want you to stay. You turn around and start coming back. Damn near give me a heart attack. And it's really crazy. Got a heart full of rust.
All right, Mr. Ben Harley, Mr. Danny Hicks.
Yeah.
Brain invasion.
Roll.
That's right. We got the Heart Full of Rust from the new Brain Invasion CD. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, pick that up. Again, it is called And Off Came His Head.
That doesn't, is that some kind of reference to my head coming off my body?
It was.
Because your listeners probably don't know that I had my head professionally removed and then replaced.
Removed, yes.
You did, yeah.
Okay.
You had a surgery, Danny, right?
Oh, a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
They actually did kind of take my head off and then put it back on with new titanium parts. So I won't rust.
Right.
Danny's the only guy that runs around hooting and hollering with a broken neck for 25 years.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix. Well, it was
Exactly.
broke, Danny.
Right.
Should have fixed it a long time ago, but there. Take this 12 pounds of titanium, put it in your neck, and come back. See us later.
Yeah.
We'll tune it up.
He's kind of like a superhero too, Mr. Ben Harley. He's like Iron Man in a way. He's tight, man.
Titanium man.
Yeah.
Titanium man.
Titanium
Tight.
man. Yeah.
Hey, tight guy, come over here. Yeah. So.
Hey, you.
Well, we had fun, Mr. Ben Harley. We recorded that stuff a long time ago, and there's been a lot of things going on in everyone's lives. And I moved out here to Dermal Ridge. Danny had a surgery. Sri and Baird was moving, a bunch of different things. So we kind of just put it on hold, and now it is out.
But you can't stop rock and roll, Timo, right?
Not for long. Not for long. No.
Evidently, the people at YouTube can.
Yeah, that's
true. That's
you
true.
better call D. Snyder, Timo. Get him on the phone.
Yeah, right. All right, well, let's get to our official little films, Mr. Ben Harley and Mr. Danny Hicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
First up, from 1961, we have the British film The Day the Earth Caught Fire.
Yeah.
All right, let me get your short little storyline here for The Day the Earth Caught Fire. Here we go. Nice and short, one sentence. Let's hit it. Here we go.
Okay, hit it.
When the U.S. and Russia unwittingly test atomic bombs at the same time, it alters the nutation, axis of rotation, of the Earth. That's it.
That's it.
All right, so we got people, we got countries exploding bombs that knocks us out of orbit, knocks the planet out of orbit, and we're going toward the sun, Mr. Ben Harley. Going toward the sun. Yes. This is not good, especially in black and white.
No, it's not.
When the world was in black and white, it was a whole different thing. Whole different thing, and it's going toward there. Now, first up, Mr. Ben Harley, I'm going to let you talk about this, and Mr. Danny Hicks, but I'm going to warn you guys right now. I'm going to warn you guys right now. I am well armed, and this movie was directed by Mr. Val Guest, who did The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas.
Oh,
so be careful.
Okay.
Be careful what you say. You can sleep through it if you want. You can try. All right. Now, wait. Now, Harley, have you seen this before?
No.
You haven't. All right. I have.
No.
All right.
Well, you've seen everything before. You've seen movies that haven't been made yet.
It's possible. Yeah. Well, what do you think, Mr. Ben Harley, of The Day the Earth Caught Fire?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, it started out well enough, I guess, but it kind of threw me. It did the reverse Wizard of Oz on me. It kind of had color at first, and then it went to black and white. That threw me for a second.
Right. It had a little bit of a tint to it.
Yes. A little bit of a tint to it. Well, it is about a gentleman. He's a press reporter, right? Mm-hmm. And he befriends a lady who works for the science department. Is it? All right.
Now, let me stop you. Do you know who that young lady was?
She looks familiar.
Yeah, she's Janet Munro from The Crawling Eye, but that might not be what you remember her from.
Okay.
She was also Roberta in The Swiss Family Robinson in the 1960 Disney version. Yeah.
Nice, okay. I like The Space Family Robinson.
I know you do. Proceed.
Proceed. Yes.
Now, we've come full circle. We're back with the fucking Robinsons.
So, yes, they end up becoming fast friends, and he has her help him get a little more stuff for the newspaper. He wants a scoop, and then it kind of...
Ben Harley, there's a little bit of almost nudity. Now, that didn't keep you awake?
Yeah. Oh, well, no, I liked that part. There was almost
Roberta getting naked. Come on.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah.
Tim almost lost his
mind. And then there's a lot of British talk, and then... I don't know. If you want to pick up from there, but I don't.
No, it is. I mean, this is
very talky.
It's an apocalyptic movie from the point of view of a newspaper.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Because it really, I mean, it's taking most of it's taking place in a newspaper. I tell you what, the guy, the editor of the paper, hadn't seen a weight set in his entire life. Mr. Ben Harley, he was built like a weeblo. He was terrible.
Who was that guy? Who
I don't know who that guy was. His voice was driving me crazy because he sounded like somebody else.
I think he could have very well been an actual newspaper editor.
That's possible.
Yeah. It's possible. He sure as hell talked like one.
Yeah.
And most people aren't that good of an actor, you know.
Right.
He was just, wow, I bought it completely.
Well, it was starring Edward Judd, who was in First Men on the Moon, Island of Terror, Mr. Ben Harley.
Yeah.
And he's a dead ringer for Thomas Jane.
Okay.
You know, from Deep Blue Sea.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, starred Deep Blue. He's a dead ringer for that knucklehead.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And he's also Michael Caine's best friend. And Michael Caine was in this movie.
He was. He was the guy, the cop or something.
Yep.
I thought that was him. Ah, nice.
Really?
Yeah, it was right when everybody was falling asleep watching. I mean, in the room with us falling asleep, not in the movie. Yeah, falling asleep. So
he played was it a cop? I think.
He was a cop like toward the end. Yeah,
he's only in for a couple seconds.
Right.
You can't miss. It's hard to miss his voice. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, right. We had the handsome Leo Kern, who was the newspaper buddy with the Waldo glasses. You've seen 100 million times in movies. The pudgy guy, the fat guy in the movie. Yeah. I like that guy. I do. He's pretty good. A couple of things for Mr. Ben Harley. I think this movie was really well written and acted and produced.
Yeah.
I like the conspiracy to keep silent from the government part of it. I kept thinking in the movie, I didn't even say anything while watching. I kept thinking, it's like, in the real world, I think the first thing people would do would not be run around and close their doors. They'd probably go underground.
Yeah.
I'm going on a limb there. I went to engineering school, Mr. Ben Harley. Have I ever talked about this before?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's kind of cool underground too.
It is a little cooler underground. They might have thought about that, but I'm not really sure. It's definitely a 1961 British movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to go much past that. I think what's missing is a Yeti.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because
on fire.
It's in the sequel.
It's in the sequel. Right. I think it's what's missing is anything, but I enjoyed the film, but it's certainly not a barn burner. It's not something, that I would sit down and say, Chance, stop playing your video games. I've got something really entertaining for you to watch, so. And he's like, is it in monochrome? I'm like, yes, it is. He doesn't say black and white. He doesn't like that. No. It's not black and white. Yeah, so it bothers him.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mr. Ben Harley. It's kind of one of those classics that's kind of hidden. It's got a 7.2 on IMDb. I'm a little surprised by that. That's about one or two ticks up than I thought it would be, but
that's how many people watched it. 7.2.
But it's not a barn burner, but I think it's also not a movie to watch with 5 or 6 people. I think it's one of those movies on a rainy day you sit down and watch, and you might get into the story a little bit. Now, we've had so many apocalyptic movies since this movie.
I mean, it's one of the things
this morning.
One of the things I think happened with this movie is they took the dialogue, and it was so rapid and fast paced and everything else, that they thought that people would be just so enthralled with the pace of the movie that they would forget about the facts that there wasn't any movie. It's just like it reminded me of some of those old movies like Front Page, where everything had to be so fast and so rapid fire, and the dialogue is so witty and everything that.
It was definitely Howard Hawks' influence.
Yeah.
We were talking about that last night. It was definitely Howard Hawks' influence. They're kind of talking over each other, and which I like. I mean, it does help the speed of a film, a little bit. And there was moments where there was some carnage that happened that I thought was done fairly well. You could tell they didn't have a huge budget.
Yeah.
So I think with what they had to work with, they made a little bit of a classy film. Sometimes when you have a movie like that, though, having silly robots running around shooting lasers out of their eyes kind of gets more fun. It's a little more fun to watch and laugh at. And this did not have that.
Well, this movie was more. It wasn't so much about the earth catching fires. It was the story of the relationship between the two people.
Exactly.
Well, actually, more than two people.
Right.
A whole bunch of people.
Right. Oh, he's gone. He's gone again. He's gone. Episode number 400. Harley falls asleep. Danny Hicks says, "Shh, don't wake him up."
Yeah, don't wake him up.
He'll talk again.
Yeah.
I'm Ben Harley. For me, this is it's a mild Grape Ape Up. I wouldn't watch this with people again. But I will watch it by myself again someday, I'm sure. A long time from now when I forget I watched it this time.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it. I actually some of it was kind of witty. Angie O was sitting next to us and she was laughing out loud in some parts. So I think she was enjoying some of that. As a science fiction film, it doesn't totally work.
I was tickling her.
Oh, that's
playing footsies or something.
And old Mr. Timo here is sitting next to Danny Hicks, tickling my wife, and I am enthralled in the day the earth caught fire. It's a wonder why I'm living here. So, but I'm going to give it the mildest mild Grape Apes Up, and I think I've explained pretty well. The shortcomings and everything. How about you, Mr. Ben Harley?
I can't poop on it because it is well acted. The dialogue, all of it's pretty good. I had a hard time keeping up with some of it. Some of the thick accents, and then them talking over top of each other.
Yeah,
I just kept thinking, bully. I don't know. That's all I kept hearing in my head, or something like
pip pip chitio.
But it just because there was just too much going on like that, and then there wasn't enough. And I mean, if you like that type of stuff, sure, it's great. But I needed a little bit more. Yeah, I don't think necessarily needed too much more special effects or anything like that. I guess, but I don't know. I just was bored after a while. I was just bored to tears. But yeah. So I'm just gonna give it I'm on the other side of the fence, not the good side of the fence. I'm on the other side looking through.
Gotcha.
I can't poop on it because it's not a bad movie. It's not bad like that.
No, it's not a bad movie.
It was bad for me.
Right. I got you. Mr. Danny Hicks, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mr. Harley. I'm right about there with Mr. Harley. Yeah, it was. I actually almost fell asleep towards the end of this movie.
Well, it was getting late too.
Plus it's just and what's next, guys? Come on, do something. Not just this witty repartee. Just fuck it. Just show us. Do something. I don't know.
The end was a little bit of a cheat. Now that I think about it, the end
was a big cheat.
Yeah, because they kind of left it open ended.
Yeah, it's like, now what do you think happened? Right. Did we all die? Well, I don't know. Let's hope so. Right. Well, let's just hope that you died.
He's getting surly, Ben Harley. He's getting surly.
Yeah, the end pissed me off. So so I'm gonna. Is there such a thing as a?
Oh, you poop on it. Yeah,
but I don't want to do it.
Oh, and then you're like. Oh, wow. Wow, there was a door in his throat that creaked open. That was crazy.
That's the metal in my lungs.
I get it. It was definitely it was what it was. There was an episode of Twilight Zone I mentioned last night that this reminded me of, and I don't know if you remember, Ben Harley or Danny Hicks. The Earth was going toward the sun in the episode. And so the same basic thing was happening. And then, of course, there's the twist, as all Twilight Zones has. Yeah. And the guy wakes up, and it was all a dream. And somebody walks in the house, and a bunch of snow blows in. Right. And what's really happening is the Earth is going away from the sun. Had I made this movie, that's probably what I would have done. I would have had something like that, where some ending, even if it's a bad one, for the people, something would have happened like that. Yeah. And they did not. They did not. No. So, but it's 1961. That was not normal to have an ending like that. So this might have resonated a little bit more. And possibly part of this film is that it hasn't held up over 56 years or so, of other films. But I get it. So it's a mild Grape Ape Up, and you guys are just below that going, right. Yeah. Somebody worked hard on this motherfucker, right?
Yeah, they did.
Let's give him something.
Someone wrote a lot of dialogue.
Right.
Yeah, a whole lot of dialogue.
Well, let's get to our next official film. This one is from 2003. This is almost like a movie. What, Ben Harley, for me?
This is like a brand new film for you. This is like the future.
Exactly. So this movie is unfortunately titled Monster Man.
Monster Man. Yes, sir.
Monster Man. Yeah. Let me give you a synopsis storyline here. Get movie guy back out. movie guys been hanging out with Mr. Danny Hicks. They've been doing the hard drugs. They've been doing the hard drugs. I don't do that stuff. No, I am strictly fried chicken, and I snort crayons. All right, here we go. So we got synopsis for Monster Man. All right, here we go. Monster trucks have gigantic wheels, carriages of steel, tons of horsepower, and crush anything that stands in their way. On desolate I-55, there is one monster truck that gives new meaning to the name. It's not just the truck that's monstrous, it's also the driver. When two college buddies driving cross country stumble across the monster truck's path, they have much more than a bar full of amputee yokels to worry about.
Well, they gave some away, didn't they?
I almost... Who wrote this? Some 6-year-old? What the hell is this? Okay, so it's a buddy movie, and the guys, it's not that different from, I'd say, what's the one you like, Mr. Ben Harley? The Steven Spielberg, Duel. It's got a little bit of Duel in it. Yep. Yeah. So these two guys are going across, and one guy's a nerdy guy, one guy's an annoying party guy. Ever seen this before in a movie? They would definitely be friends in real life, right? Because those are the kinds of people hanging around. The only thing missing was the jock, and the debate team captain, right? In the back seat. So,
and the good-looking chick.
Right.
Right.
And so, of course, the guy, the funny fat guy who he always gets them in trouble. He's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
He pisses off a dude in a monster truck who's actually a monster. And they're driving through the desert. And this truck was some serious customizing done on that Chevy. I'm telling you
what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Now, that was a real truck. It was built.
I know it was.
It was actually built.
And it ran on rocket fuel.
It did run on rocket fuel for about 30 minutes at 30 miles an hour.
Right.
That's about all.
As fast as it could go.
Yeah. That's a pretty low octane rocket fuel that makes a vehicle go 30 miles an hour.
Well, no, actually what it is with those tires, it takes so much horsepower to even get those things to turn.
Gotcha.
It takes a tremendous amount of rocket fuel to get them to move.
Right. So basically, this is a Laurel and Hardy version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
In a way, because it's two goofy guys.
It's kind of Tucker and Dale-ish a little bit.
It is got a little bit of that. Not quite as well written.
No.
At all. No, not at all. And let's see. Eric Youngman played Adam. He was a nerdy guy. He's been in a bunch of TV shows.
He looks super familiar.
Yeah, Justin Urich plays Harley.
Yes.
He played you well.
When in doubt, give him a cool name.
Right. That was Robert Urich's nephew, by the way.
Oh, really?
No nepotism whatsoever going on in this movie at all. And the Monster Man, Mr. Ben Harley, the Monster Man was played by one Michael Bailey Smith, who played Ben Grimm, otherwise known as The Thing, in the unreleased Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. Ben Harley, we have broken bread with that man.
We have, haven't we?
Yeah,
we did.
So yes, they run afoul of this guy in the truck. It's a road movie. Yes. And of course, they pick up a hot hitchhiker who's got nothing good up her skirt. Well, let me
wait.
Moving forward. I'm going to move forward with that one. And they do end up. It does take you somewhere you're not really expecting.
No,
I'd say. All right, I'm going to stop there and start with Mr. Ben Harley again. What'd you think, Mr. Ben Harley, of Monster Man?
Tim, it was funny. I was watching this film, and about, I don't know, a little less than halfway through, I was like, holy crap, I've seen this before. And I couldn't remember where I'd seen it. But I kind of like this movie a little bit. It's the guy Harley, I know he took my name and all.
Right.
I like it. He's a little bit, he could have, I guess, I don't know. He reminded me a little bit too much of Jack Black. I don't think it's his fault so much maybe, but I don't know. That was about the only problem that I had watching the film.
Yeah, like a Jack Black who's on 10 and never gets turned down to 7. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so that was hard for me, like in the beginning, watching, because at first I didn't know I'd seen this. And I was like, that guy's a little bit much, But I think this movie had enough. It's definitely got some dark humor in it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a horror comedy for sure.
Yeah. And I kind of like that sometimes. And I think this one did a good enough job of keeping them both, equal parts of both without being too funny or, I don't know, there's some pretty gross stuff in this film.
Sure is. Yeah.
And it was kind of funny. I was watching this at the shop, and I had the guys, Billy and Brett, that were working that day. They kept walking by going, "What in the hell are you watching?"
Right.
I said, you know me and Tim. Come on, it's our 400th episode. We got to go out with some stuff,
right.
Danny's coming in. Come on, we're going crazy. But no, I thought, is this the greatest movie of all time? No, not by any means, but I did kind of enjoy some of it. And then by the time that I got to the parts where I'm like, I have seen this, I did start to enjoy it, Now there are a couple scenes towards the end that I was foggy on, but I do remember them going to the house, all that. I don't know. I thought when it was all said and done, it's just kind of a roller coaster ride of a film, as far as like you're kind of, you're on the edge of the seat because of things that are going on as far as the horror, but there's just some sick stuff that happens in this, that just made me cringe, you know what I mean? And so, I don't know, I guess the movie itself put me kind of in a fun mood. And I just didn't take it serious, you know what I mean? Well, so I guess I didn't really like dissect it that much. But I don't know. I thought it was okay.
Well, I think the dialogue was bad in some of it. Like they're trying to be really funny jokes back and forth, and they could have cut some of that out because the movie, their reactions to things were really funny.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, Danny?
You know what? I think they got halfway through the film shoot, and the shooting script, and the producer and the director finally finished reading the damn thing, and they said, "Wait, what? No. All right, well, we got to do something else here because this isn't going to work. All right, here's the deal: we're going to cut somebody in half and put him over here and lay him there, and he's going to start telling us what this thing's all about and why we have the monster truck and the mutilation stuff in the bar." What the fuck was that all about?
Yeah, there was a lot of limbs lopped off on people.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the movie until they told us that was part of the movie.
Right.
The reason this happened is because, well, I just finished reading the script and it was going nowhere, so we just threw all this shit in there.
Right.
So I didn't think much of this movie at all. It was just like...
It was, when I saw it the first time, it was right after it came out. So it's now 2008.
Here's the thing that I'm absolutely amazed by. You say, when I saw it the first time, and you watched it a second?
With you.
With me. Yeah. You hate me.
Yeah. Well, it had to have been 2004 or something. So that was 14 years ago? It's amazing, I think, how much I've grown up. Yeah. Because some of that dialogue the first time around, I found much more entertaining. And it was really the one thing about the movie, watching it this time, that hurt it, was the over dialogue. It was too much talking in it. And I thought that was more enjoyable the first time around when I saw it. That I didn't. But what I did thought held up was the things that basically it's like the movie's going and then stops for 5 minutes and lets them talk about something and then gets going again.
Yeah, I think
and then stops.
I think that's when they got to the end of the script. And they said, "Whoa, we got to do something here. This movie is really fucked up."
Right. And you could edit out a lot of that stupid, especially the Jack Black Jr., Robert Urich's nephew or whatever. You could have cut. Now that's not his fault. He's doing what's written, but he wasn't a strong enough comedic actor to do that. Now, when they were reacting to gross things and, eyeballs falling on their faces and the really uncomfortable scene where he's sleeping and the monster man plants a dead cat on him while he's having an erotic dream. Ben Harley, I thought about you. I know how much you love icky things.
That was, I had a hard time.
Icky-ist.
Oh my God.
I'm glad we didn't watch that together. You'd be checking me. You'd be checking me against the boards on that one. But some of that stuff too was like, they did it. They went there. They did it. So they didn't hold back.
God, I wish they wouldn't have went there.
But when they got they pick up a girl who's, of course, is not going to go well. They pick up this really, really beautiful woman and she's up to no good. She's a bad guy, basically. And the movie's been out for a while, so I'm not really doing much of a spoiler here. But when they get back to where the monster man and her live, and the other brother guy who's laying on the table. I was in because I'm like looking at this guy on a table with his guts hanging out, and he's making jokes and talking. I'm like, nah, man, I like that. That's pretty funny. I didn't expect that, you know. And that went through me this time too. I did not remember the very end of this.
And Angie O, during that scene, Angie O says, "Now, how are they doing that? Is he laying down with his head?"
Yeah, she did ask how they were doing that. It's like, yeah, he's under the table. Yeah, pretty much. But you know, it's not taking itself seriously whatsoever. And so to overanalyze it and say stuff is like, so for me, my criticism of the film is it's trying to be funnier than it can be. And I think that it didn't need the stupid dialogue, somebody watched way too many Kevin Smith movies and tried to, I'm going to make something really brilliant and funny. That part didn't work. They didn't need it all. Maybe like if they cut 90% of the back and forth between the two main characters and just allowed the rest of the story to flesh out a little bit, it would have been better to me. But I think it's a sign of the times when it came out. I really do. That over dialogue shit was real popular, you know, back then. Yeah.
And that's just what hurt it for me was his character. Not that I didn't like his character. He was just too much after. It was just, really to the point where I'm like, just shut up, you know. And
that's another thing. I mean, the nerdy guy wasn't nerdy enough. And the asshole guy wasn't, well, I guess he was assholey enough, but he just didn't look the part, you know? I mean, he didn't look like Belushi or I don't know. Neither one of them worked for me.
Yeah. I mean, but again, I go back and think about, all right, he's peeing in the monster truck. He's doing this, he's doing that. And I think that there was moments where you're just like, oh man. And then like 20 seconds later, these characters are making you laugh in spite of that previous 20 seconds or whatever that were bad and painful.
They were making you laugh, Tim.
Well, I saw everybody laugh. I'm telling you, I know. But that's why I said in spite of it. It's like in spite of, you're laughing at it sometimes, not with it as much. But there was a lot of, this looked like a movie where they needed a few extra things to kind of make it work as well as they thought it was working.
Yeah. I think this, well, the reason I guess I liked most of it is because first off, with the movie Duel, me liking that. And then also Chainsaw Massacre and stuff like those movies. I felt like this kind of was sort of an homage to that, you know, but in comedy form a little, you know, which I did appreciate.
Right.
I'd say I'd liked about 75% of it I liked. There's like 25% of it I could really do without. Now, it's probably not one I'm going to watch over and over again, but even like the last exact scene, that just pretty much summed it all up for me. You can't take that serious whatsoever. It's just right. You know? And I think it was laughing at itself maybe too, but I understand where Danny's coming from too, and you as well, because some of it was painful, right? You know, but as far as just like a lower budget film, I thought it was okay though.
Yeah, I did too. It was shot in the desert where it's cheap.
It was shot in Santa Clarita. I used to live there and I can't say it. Santa Clarita.
Yes.
I lived there and I can't say the damn thing.
That's why.
You know, it was funny. We were watching. I thought, God, this stuff, that scenery looks familiar. That's because I lived there.
I'm going to give it a great bape up only because of the stuff I like in it. I still like. It didn't hold up as well as I wanted it to. And maybe 10, 15 years from now when I'm older and crankier, I'm like, that stupid movie, these kids in their cars and CB radios and Fizz Whiz and 7-Up. I can't handle it. But right now, I'm still on board because it was fun. I'm fucking tired of taking shit serious. These goddamn movies, it's like, it's a popcorn movie. You know, it's a goddamn popcorn movie, and it was trying to be fun and entertaining. It did not take itself seriously. Had this movie tried to take itself seriously or not give me anything but them two doing their dialogue, it'd be a But they gave me enough that I think holds up still When the car got rolled over and the corpse was falling on the Jack Black Jr. guy, and he was screaming. That same guy that was pissing me off 2 minutes earlier was making me laugh my ass off.
You were laughing your ass off.
I was. It was hilarious.
And just to be clear, I was not laughing at that scene. I was laughing at you.
That's fine. I was entertaining you more than the film, but it was
actually
still fun.
fell over at that point. I think.
It was funny. I thought it was funny as hell. So I'm going to give it not a huge Great Bait Bop because it's not a classic. It's not going to be anybody's top 10 list at all, but I've seen so much worse and more boring. And I think that it's not like the day the earth caught fire.
You watch way too many movies.
That's true. Yeah. That's not debatable at all. But so I'm going to give it just a regular Great Bait Bop, Mr. Ben Harley.
I think, I'm going to I'll probably do the same as well. Not like a great big one, but just,
No, just regular.
Only for the fact it did make me snicker a lot of parts. I enjoy the tie-ins of Duel and Chainsaw and all that. And even Rocky Dennis. You can throw Mask in there if you want.
Whoa. Time out. I want you to expand on that for 1 minute, please. Please expand on Rocky Dennis one for the...
Well, the Monster Man kind of looked like Rocky Dennis, but I don't...
An older version?
Yeah. Thought it was.
He's Rocky all grown
Dennis.
up.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah.
He finally gave up hope and he just went bad guy.
Nice. He took all the pins off the wall on the map and said, "Screw it, you're going to Santa Clarita," like that.
right.
Annoying dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. But and I thought it was funny. I liked the girl in it. I thought it was funny, But yeah, there's your Kevin Smith stuff.
It is. It's very good. I actually thought she was a chick from Chasing Amy at first. I had to look it up. She looked like her a little bit.
Yeah,
I really did. I was like, man, I think this chick might have been in a Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah,
but
probably.
It was not. It was not.
Maybe an extra.
Yeah, maybe, but it was not her. Danny Hicks. Oh God, look at that!
Yeah,
there was shark that came out of his lips.
Yeah, man, I felt that over here.
Once again, I am the dissenting character here. So I just didn't care for it, guys. They didn't have enough to redeem it for me. I just thought, nah.
Danny's like, it was unbelievable. It was silly. A lot of over the top dialogue.
See, I love that.
And let's go watch Evil Dead 2.
Hey, guys, Evil Dead 2.
You can't do that. Nope.
No.
You guys won't let me.
Evil Dead 2 is a much better, more fun film than this, but it's in the same.
Even I will admit that.
Yeah,
I will admit.
Yeah, and it's but it's the same. Entertainment. They're trying to. It was trying to entertain you in that way. It did not succeed at all.
For me. Not for me.
But it didn't not succeed on a grand scale for me. It's not up there with those movies. But I've seen a hell of a lot more boring, worse, weird.
Yeah.
So have I, and usually it is with you.
It's true. That's true.
You make me watch the fucking Ice Cream Bunny.
Ben Harley.
Good God.
This poor son of a bitch doesn't even remember that was a riff track.
I don't.
And I keep trying to tell him, I've told him 10 times, you understand that Harley and I don't sit down and watch this movie without the riff tracks, right? He's like, I didn't know there was riff tracks.
I didn't.
It hurt him, Ben Harley.
I had a fucking stroke or something. That movie just took out a big chunk of my fucking brain. It's just like
Danny even searched. He searched the director out and what movies he made.
Oh, he was mad. Yeah, he apologized on behalf of Hollywood. I've never seen that before.
No, this movie was not that bad.
No, it wasn't.
And you know what? I probably did chuckle in a couple of places here, but I thought, it's just not. It's a whole lot of work to get a couple giggles.
The thing is, Danny, too, and I think that you enjoy movies for different reasons than me and Ben sometimes, too. So I think that's
possible.
It's kind of the disconnect where you might have enjoyed pieces of, but to say you like it was different, and we have a different threshold for that. For me, sometimes to get away from the day in life and the news or whatever the hell's going on in the world, and you see something like that, you guys go with the world. I'm going with Jack Black Jr. with eyeballs falling in my mouth and shit, because that's kind of funny. That's where I
thought it might be his little brother. I don't know. It could have been.
He definitely had something going on.
Less talented brother.
Yeah, very.
This guy's goofy like Robert Urich. Holy hell, it's his nephew.
Yeah.
that comedic actor Robert Urich. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Spencer
for hire. Yeah.
Spencer for hire.
All right, so that is, let's see, 2 just regular Great Babes up for Monster Man. Danny for Monster Man. Let's see, Day the Earth Caught Fire. We were all kind of like, I mean,
crickets chirp.
Yeah, made well. It is what it is, but we don't need to be pulling that one out.
It made me want the world to catch fire.
The script certainly didn't catch fire, so it was
no.
So, but you know what, Harley? Really, probably not what we were searching for number 400.
Yeah. That's all right, though.
Yeah, not really much better than 232, right? It doesn't really matters much. So, but I will tell you this: the next show, everybody, this is gonna be a big deal because we're gonna have everybody in studio, and we're gonna just sit down and pick together what we're gonna watch and what we're gonna talk about for next week. So next week, even though this is the big anniversary for 100 show, we are honored to have our good friend, our third wheel in mindcrime, Mr. Danny Hicks, with us.
Well, thank you guys. Number 400, and I get to be here.
That's absolutely
And again, guys, congratulations. 400. That's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Danny.
Yes, thank you. And we're glad and proud to have you with us.
Well, thanks.
And we're going to do number 401, and well, I think it might be a little more entertaining 401. We're going to have an Ultraman show to talk about. Who knows what we're going to look at? Because God knows, Ben Harley, you know I've been sneaking buying some weird riff tracks and some movies, and not all of them are in color. I'm just warning y'all. They got some bad effects coming up and everything. Who knows, right? Who knows? Right.
Well, I really wish Danny could watch the Ice Cream Bunny with the riff tracks, but he can't.
But you're going to be sitting here with me very soon.
Yeah.
If you want to keep your fucking top knot, don't talk about the Ice Cream Bunny anymore. I will scalp you.
You're going to walk in the house with your goalie outfit on, like when you wrestled Bobo Bazil Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll need it
taped to my helmet. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Till next time, everybody, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to the Timo and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.